And I think we're recording. Hey, so welcome to the first ever episode of Podracers, the new podcast where we talk about, all this sort of pop culture stuff from the week. My name is Sam, and here is my co-host, if you will.
What's up, I'm John.
That's John. He's my roommate. How's your week been, John?
Oh, all right.
So here on Podracers, we like to talk about the week in pop culture. What have you seen in pop culture this week?
I watched a lot of Price is Right.
Price is Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you gotta watch, yeah.
I saw a double over.
Double over, huh?
Yeah.
Double over on the Price is Right?
It was really sad.
Does that mean that nobody wins the showcase?
That means no one wins the showcase.
What happens to the showcases when nobody wins them?
I imagine they burn them.
You think they burn them?
Yeah.
See, I would just use them for the next show.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we got an Entertainment Weekly out here. Time for our first segment. Weekly in Entertainment. Weekly in Entertainment. So we have an Entertainment Weekly. And on the cover here we got Shailene Woodley. Do you know who she is?
No.
She's really pretty. She was in those the Divergent movie, all those billboards. We got on the cover here Shailene Woodley, who I think is very pretty. And then this guy who kind of looks like her brother could be. An actor I'm not very familiar with, and his name is Ansel Elgort.
That is an alien's name.
And they're about to star in The Fault in Our Stars, which is about a girl who has cancer. And then they love each other. And I think it works out.
So it's love story.
It's a love story. Well, I mean, I don't think Love Story has a monopoly on cancer. Yeah. Other girls can get cancer, and other guys could fall in love with them, and it doesn't have to be Love Story. But this happens to probably just be Love Story.
In Forrest Gump, Jenny has AIDS.
Jenny has AIDS in Forrest Gump, which brings us to our second segment. AIDS Flicks. AIDS Flicks. So John already started us off with Forrest Gump. Jenny has AIDS in it.
Which also means that little Forrest has AIDS, right?
Is Forrest raising a little AIDS baby?
I think Forrest is raising a little AIDS baby.
That makes him even sweeter.
Yeah. That kid's going to have a lot of healthcare costs.
But Forrest is a gazillionaire, if you don't recall, from investing in Apple. So it'll work out for him. And this has been AIDS Flicks. Spoiler alert. Okay, Podracers, right now, I'm sorry, but you could... Okay, let me just give a real quick shout out to all the Podracers listening right now. Stop listening right now, because we are about to go to the spoiler zone. Spoiler zone. It's our third segment. We got 3 segments so far. Weekly in Entertainment, AIDS Flicks, and the spoiler zone. John is dropping his keys and phone in the spoiler zone. Alright, back to the spoiler zone. Omar dies. Omar gets shot by a little boy. In the back.
I didn't know how he died. I just knew that he died.
Hey man, when you're in the spoiler zone, It's all up for grabs. Alright, let's get out of the spoiler zone. Alright, everybody who's fast forwarding, stop fast forwarding right now. And join us back in the pod race zone. So let's talk about why we're called pod racing. We're huge fans of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Probably the greatest film of all time.
Yeah, and we're not like these guys who ironically say we love shitty movies, like it's a really shitty movie or something, and we're like, oh no, it's great. No, we genuinely think it's a great movie.
The pacing, the acting.
The acting.
The non-racist caricatures.
Alright, so now it's making it sort of sound like you're making fun of it.
I am not.
It's stupid. It's hack to make fun of Star Wars Episode 1. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing here. Everyone shits on it. We have a new take on it. Our new take is it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's a fucking
Here's
awesome
a fresh
movie.
take, America. You know that movie that you thought sucked for 15 years?
You're wrong. It was awesome.
Fresh take? It's not so bad. Here's another fresh take. Citizen Kane? Not so good. Alright, now we're going to get to the controversial pit. The controversial
Opinion
Dome.
Zone?
Yeah, this is our fourth segment.
Oh, wait.
Controversy in the UK. All right. So I think Citizen Kane's not that great. I would rather watch Star Wars Episode 1 than Citizen Kane. Sue me.
I would... when you put it that way, that's actually an interesting question.
Okay. It's not a question. It was a statement.
Right, but
But
like I'm asking myself...
let me turn it into a question. Hi, John. I have Citizen Kane and Star Wars Episode 1. Which would you like to watch with me?
Star Wars Episode 1?
Right, and do you know why?
Because it's a better movie.
Ain't no lightsaber battles in Citizen Kane.
Nor is there, that scene.
I think I've learned recently that all movies are bad, so they're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all opinions. Like, I don't know. They're all kind of boring.
Yeah.
In a way. Phantom Menace is a terrible movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, wait, hold on. I forgot that my whole point was that it's a good movie. No, we don't ironically like it.
Yeah.
No, we love it. All
Because
right.
all movies are shit, and therefore all movies
Yeah, but that's not true. A lot of movies are really good.
Yeah.
Contradicting myself. This is the contradiction zone. All right. What do you want to talk about? New segment. Let's just do a new segment.
All right. What? Do you have any ideas?
I do. Storyteller time. Let's tell stories.
You got a song for this new segment?
For the storyteller time segment?
Yeah.
Yes. It's storyteller's time. There was a time before the stories. There was a time before they were young. There was a time before... This is garbage. This is a bad song that I'm trying to sing.
Did you write it?
No. Tim Rice wrote it. Legendary writer with Elton John. Remember in our... when we were young where Elton John and Tim Rice wrote everything?
Yeah.
And you were like, who are those guys?
Nope.
And we know who is... Okay, well, we know who Elton John is. Tim Rice. Asian or not Asian?
Not Asian.
Okay. It was racist of me to even make that question. Billy, you'll never believe it! So, storyteller's time.
Storyteller's time.
I guess I'll start off by telling the Podracers the story about the guy who was shitting in our backyard.
Please.
You think so?
Please, yes. Enlighten our pod racers out there.
Well, there was a guy shitting in our backyard. That's sort of the beginning end of the story. I think he was also jacking off.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
What makes you think he was jacking off?
Well, there's a lot of porno out there, so that I don't think he was just pooping. Well, okay, so here's how it started. I went out one day and one of my neighbors was like, "Hey, come over here." And I went up to talk to him and he goes, "Hey, you need to tell that guy to stop shitting in your backyard." And I was confused because I didn't know there was somebody shitting in our backyard. Did you?
No, that was when you or Carrier told me that story.
Yeah.
Carrier is one of our other roommates for you pod racers out there.
Yep. Keep up with our roommates.
Yeah. When whichever one of you told me that conversation happened, that was the first time I had heard.
Yeah, so this guy goes, "Hey, I got kids. You need to make sure this guy's not doing it. Stop letting him." One of our neighbors thought we were letting this guy shit in our backyard.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think
he said, "Stop letting him do it." Like,
of all of the confusing elements to this story, the thing that confuses me the most is that guy thinks we're letting a homeless guy shit in our backyard.
Yeah. So there was shit. There was shit in the backyard, and it was hard to see because he was putting newspapers over it,
mm-hmm.
and you could tell when he'd been there based on when the newspapers were from. I remember one of the newspapers was from the Golden Globes. It had the list of winners, and I was like, oh god, the Golden Globes was the night before, so I had known he's been here in the last 24 hours because he pooped on the Golden Globe winners. So then one day we see him come back here. He's a homeless guy. He's an old homeless man. He doesn't speak English. I won't say what language he does speak because I don't want to make this seem like a hate rant, but he just doesn't speak English. So this guy was in our backyard, shitting in our little alleyway backyard, and we saw that he went back there, and I wanted to check, because I wanted to see for sure that he was doing it. I had seen the poop, I had seen the evidence, but I didn't want to accuse him of pooping in our backyard if he was just going back there looking for bottles or something.
Right.
That would be, he's...
Right, but why would he be going back there?
No, I know. There's a lot of homeless people who grab bottles, and that's fine. And we have a lime tree in our backyard, and they like to grab limes, and even that's fine.
Presumably.
Yeah. So I kind of opened my window up to see, like, maybe he's just grabbing bottles, or maybe I'll see something. John, the last thing I wanted to see was... In this whole world was this old man's butt sticking in the air and poop coming out of it.
Now...
And John?
Yes.
That's exactly what I saw.
Can you,
yes.
Sam...
Yes.
For those of you Podracers out there listening, wondering why I'm not more shocked than I am.
Yeah.
This is a story I know very well.
Sure.
And I have asked you this question in the past, and I feel like you sort of dodge around it.
Okay.
It's not really a question. Describe for me in vivid detail the image of a man pooping.
Okay. Well, I could describe to you the man I saw pooping.
Okay.
And it was sort of like the way I saw it, where I didn't see a whole body. What I just saw was a butt. A butt sticking in the air. Like, he was so close to my window that I didn't even see him. I just saw his butt sticking in the air. And poop being pushed out. And that was all the evidence I needed, I guess. I went back up to our other roommate. I said, yep, he's shitting in our backyard right now. And we waited by our front door for him to come around. I wasn't going to go grab him then or be like, hey, man, I wanted to, give him time to clean up.
Mm.
Come on out. And he took 5 minutes, and we were just sitting there. You're like, do you think he's still pooping? So I kind of went back around to take another look, and he was putting his pants back on, so presumably he had wiped with the Golden Globes winners newspaper and was now ready. So he came back around, and he saw us waiting for him there, and we said, hey, man, please stop shitting in our backyard. And he goes, huh? Okay, so he doesn't speak English, but he knows that we're there, and he knows that we're on to him. And that was sort of it. I mean, that's the end of the story.
Except that we've seen him since then.
Except that we've seen him since then, and that the newspapers in our backyard are then we saw the Academy Award winners newspaper, and I was like, that's even more recent!
There's also the giant shit stain on the building in front of ours.
Okay, all right. We don't want the Podracers to think we live in Poop City.
Oh, you mean like that song by the Beach Boys?
Poop City, everybody go surfing Poop City.
All right, you're close.
Poop City, Poop City, bitch. Okay, well that's the story of the shit. I mean, it's kind of, the story is told when I tell you the title of the story. The title being, there's a guy the story of the shitter.
But you've seen a grown man take a shit.
Yeah, that's sort of the lasting effect, is that, that butt sticking in the air and the poop. The thing I saw, it'll just never be unseen. That was sort of my darkest fear in all this, was I was going to see something that I would just have to have in my head forever. And you know what?
Here we are.
And here we are. And here I stand. You know who I have a big problem with? Miranda Lambert.
Oh, yeah.
Country singer Miranda Lambert. Okay, Podracers. Each episode of Podracers, we're going to put somebody on our most wanted list of enemies. People we just don't like. And you know who's going up there right now?
Miranda Lambert.
ML. Miranda Lambert's a country singer. And I emphasize
a certain syllable in
when I say country singer, what I really mean is country diva.
Yeah.
So this is our second time to record this podcast, because the first time we recorded it, we had a Miranda Lambert song. And is Miranda Leonard a person?
I don't think so. Well, maybe yes, but not like a person.
Definitely yes. That seems like a very common name, but like somebody in Miranda,
no, it's not a person whose name I recognize.
Miranda Lambert is this country singer, and we threw it up on the online.
On the interwebs.
Don't say on the interwebs. And
The ultranet.
We put it online.
The superweb.
And it got taken down in like 5 seconds because this goddamn diva, Miranda Lambert, number 1 on the top 10 list of most infamous pod racers, sick your pod racer teeth into Miranda Lambert.
Make her pay.
They took it down immediately because we had talked about one of her songs, Mama's Broken Heart. Are we even
fairness,
allowed to say it? Am I allowed to say Mama's...
In fairness, we didn't just talk about it.
We spoofed it.
We played
We went to Spoof Town.
We also played the whole
We
song.
Mad Magazined it. Yeah, we played it.
Fucking Miranda Lambert.
Mama's Broken Fart.
Yeah!
Nailed it.com. So what else? What else should we talk about? We talked about a bunch of fun stuff. What are you doing? Do you have any horror stories from like... Oh, this is so stupid. What am I, Charlie? I'm like... What are your horrors? I feel like an Entertainment Weekly interviewer right now. Weekly and Entertainment. That was a fun segment.
That was a fun segment.
Will we do it every week? Lee?
Yeah, we have to now.
I guess so.
Every time Salem gets Entertainment Weekly.
I feel like Shailene Woodley would not like me. I feel like that way with like a lot of celebrities. Like Bruce Willis, I know would not like me. But Shailene Woodley, I'm sure, is way nicer than Bruce Willis. But I feel like she would... I don't know. Maybe she'd think I was hitting on her if I was even not hitting on her, kind of thing. Like if I was just trying to be like, fun. Like if I was trying to make her laugh, but just because I want to be friends with her, she would still be like, kind of. I feel like she'd be grossed out by me. You know what I mean?
I don't think. Yeah, I mean I know what you mean. Yeah, I feel like that about a lot of celebrities.
Who do you feel like that about? Who wouldn't like you? I have like a whole list in my head. Whenever I see them, I'm like, they wouldn't. Like Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith would not have time for my nonsense, I feel like.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't.
Like, he wouldn't even tolerate it.
Yeah.
He would probably call me foolish if I tried to, like, I don't know. I just get that vibe.
I feel like, Bruce Willis definitely wouldn't like you.
Yeah, no, he's just mean, though. I don't know if... He just seems mean, and I feel like he doesn't like anybody. Is Bruce Willis mean? Hey, Podracers, if any of you are... Hey, you know what? Maybe Bruce Willis is listening. Hey, Bruno. Call us in. Let us know if you're mean. Call us up.
Call us at 424-659-3154.
Okay, so I guess this is a new segment, actually. New segment. Okay, celebrities mean? Question mark. I'm very obsessed with, like, if anyone ever says they meet a celebrity or somebody famous, the first thing I ask, not the only thing, but the first thing is always like, oh, were they nice? Are they nice? I've met so many, like, people I've kind of admired in this town, and a lot of them have not been nice.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't nice. So a lot of people are just mean. A lot of people you really love are just mean, kind of like petty. Man, I mean, now I sound kind of petty and maybe a little. Yeah, okay. Maybe
well, let's just not drop names, but yeah.
But there's fun stories. I'm just kind of. I want to give the pod racers sort of like a something to look forward to.
Right on. Yeah, we definitely have good stories about all the celebrities we meet and who are mean to us.
Maybe on the next episode of Pod Racers, I'll tell the story of a certain celebrity idol of mine who I worked for on a production who is very shitty to me about how I made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for him.
It's a good story, but we'll save it for next time.
I will save it for the next Pod Racers. Doesn't that just wet your beak a little bit, though?
I like it.
What else?
I mean, I've had celebrities be really mean to me. One guy was really mean on the phone.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I don't want to... Again, I don't want to
No,
name
let's
names.
not. Let's not drop any of them.
We'll
just have to pick them up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, Ving Rhames was really nice when I met him.
Oh, yeah? Are you going to pick that name up
him.
off the ground?
Let me just pick up that name I just
You know what?
grabbed.
That's fair, though. If we're going to say people who have been mean to us, we should also say people who have been nice.
People are
Any way
nice.
that we could brag about the most celebrities we've
Yeah.
met. Any way that we could do that, I think, is the best way to go.
I agree with you. Ving Rhames was very nice to me.
I'll tell a quick story.
Go.
Before we end it. So I worked on a Nickelodeon show not too recently. Not too long ago.
Yeah,
kind of recently. Actually.
It's like a week ago.
It was like a week ago. And I made myself a little slime trophy. We have like a slime. It was a Nickelodeon kids show, so there was a lot of slime being sprayed on like the host and on all the people, and the audience got some slime. And these kids, John, will lose their minds. It's like the Ed Sullivan Show. When this slime comes out, the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. Losing their minds. Screaming. Very loud. Very annoying. Children screaming.
Yeah, children are the worst.
I made myself a little water bottle trophy of the slime. We all did on the crew, because we got a lot, you want to keep some of the slime. It's kind of legendary, this slime. And people always ask me, what did the slime taste like? And, because I definitely tasted it, and it doesn't really taste like anything. I never really understood how, I tried to taste it a few times, actually, because I wanted to be able to describe what the slime tastes like. And
I always assumed it was sweet.
Well, it's not sweet. It is tasteless. It is lubey in texture, and it is it's made from like a food thickener, and it's clear, and then they dye it green.
Okay.
But it's edible. Otherwise, they would it was not.
Yeah, they can't pour it on someone if it's not.
They're pouring it on children.
Yeah.
They have. It can't be poisonous. So I had a water bottle of it. It's a slime trophy.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's just a water bottle full of slime. And it's on my desk. And so last night, we drank a little, me and John.
We imbibed.
And I was very drunk. And I went to bed. And I woke up at like 2 in the morning. And I was very dehydrated, as happens when you drink a lot. So I had a couple water bottles lying around. And I grabbed one. I chugged it really quick. Maybe some of you Podracers can see where this silly tale is going. I grabbed another water bottle, I chugged it really quick. It's in the dark, it's 2 in the morning, I don't have my lights on. And then I see another full bottle on the table, it's dark again, and I open it and I chug it back, and guess what? What do you think that third bottle was full of?
I have a really good guess, Sam.
Please guess.
Was it slime?
John, you are not the weakest link. Hello. Remember that show? You are the weakest link. Yes, I chugged a whole thing of slime. It was my slime trophy.
Do you straight up not have a slime trophy anymore?
No, I didn't drink it all. No, it was very easy to tell that I was not drinking water. It's very not water texture-y. It's slime, and it tastes, I put it up against my mouth and I, poured it in a good chunk, a good shot worth of slime straight into my throat, and then I kind of spit it up. And I washed it off and went back to bed. And when I woke up, there was kind of like a trail of green slime on my floor, like somebody had shot an alien. And it trailed off in the night. He was injured. Maybe not dead, but definitely injured. Still on foot.
So, drinking slime.
I drank some, it was gross. It was definitely like one of those classic, what is my life? A Steve Carell, Ben Stiller movie? And I grabbed the slime.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was
wacky hijinks.
It was wacky even for reality.
Yeah,
wacky even for reality, just like this podcast.
That's also going to be the name of your hip hop album, right?
It's going to be a trip hop album.
Okay, cool.
What is trip hop?
I have no fucking idea.
Is that a thing? It's a thing. Trip hop. Hey, Podracers. Tell us.
Why don't I just tell us, because I have a phone that is a mini computer.
Are you going to Wikipedia Trip Hop for us?
I'm going to Wikipedia Trip Hop.
Could I guess what? Okay, please do that and I'll guess what it is.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's obviously a play on hip hop, so that's where we're going to start. It's a kind of a hip hop spin-off.
Right.
If you will.
Okay.
And it's trippy, too, because that word is happening. So, okay, here we go. It's sort of psychedelic hip hop.
Okay.
That's. I think that sounds right. I don't know if it is. Go on.
Let me read just the first couple of paragraphs.
No, don't read even that much.
Trip hop is a genre of electronic music that originated in the early 1990s in the United Kingdom, especially Bristol. Deriving from post-acid house, the term was first used by the British music media and press as a way to describe the more experimental variant of breakbeat,
which contained
influences of soul, funk, and jazz. It has been described as Europe's alternative choice to the second half of the 90s and a fusion of hip-hop and electronica until neither genre is recognizable.
Okay, enough of that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
British people
British
doing their
people.
own spin on things. So it'd be like a DJ be like, hey, we got some trip hop on the bar.
Nope, Barbie is Australian.
I wasn't going to say Barbie.
Yeah, you
I
were.
Clearly was going to say Barbie. Do you know that, what's his name? The Wire. African American gentleman that people want him to play James Bond.
Idris Elba.
Yeah. He was, I think he was a DJ in England. So that means he must love trip hop. Or at least be very familiar with it.
Idris Elba?
Do you think Idris Elba loves trip hop?
Let's look it up. Let's look up.
How are you going to look up if Idris Elba loves trip hop?
It's going to say it on his Wikipedia page.
You think so?
Big fan of trip hop.
Remember when I described Idris Elba as African American guy that people want to play James Bond? Those were good times.
Idris Elba, man.
Great oldies.
Good times.
He's a great
good
actor.
oldies.
He's a great actor.
He's
could
a
play
rapper. He used to rap.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what trip hop is? I was fading through that description.
Music career.
Trip hop. Just scan for trip hop.
He recorded a 4-song EP.
Will he sue us like Miranda Lambert?
Well, no, because we're not playing his
Our
music.
arch nemesis, Miranda Lambert.
Doesn't say anything about trip hop.
Did you see Pacific Rim?
I did.
Did you see Prometheus?
I did not.
He's in these like big sci-fi movies.
He's really good.
He's great.
He was really
So
good.
that would be like he's our opposite of Miranda Lambert, wherein we were her.
So
she's our arch nemesis.
let's call this segment "Recruiting for the Team."
Okay.
Come up with a song, please.
Sipping on Jim Beam, we're recruiting for the team.
All right, Podracers.
Yep.
Get out there, follow Idris Elba on social media, and just make him
Make him a Podracer.
Yeah, make him a member of Team Podracer.
He's one that also kind of I also feel like wouldn't like me though.
I think he'd be cool.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, you don't think he's kind of like a black Bruce Willis, where he'd like kind of not have time for my nonsense?
I don't know. He does like comedy stuff. He did The Office.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
He's not like super too cool for school.
Okay. Well, Bruce Willis definitely wouldn't like me.
Yeah.
Jaden Smith would definitely not like me.
For sure.
Idris Elba, he might be too cool for school. He might be too
I
cool.
think-
Maybe not too cool for all schools, definitely too cool for this school.
I think Idris Elba wouldn't like me, but I think Bruce Willis might like me.
You think Bruce Willis, because you're from like New York, so
Yeah.
another Jersey guy.
Yeah, my dad's from Jersey.
Oh, gross. Yeah, he would love you.
Yeah.
Oh, he would hate me. Yeah. Is he anti-Semitic? Okay.
I don't know.
he feels
No,
anti-Semitic.
he does. He does feel anti-Semitic.
I get an anti-Semitic sort of like aura about
Well,
him.
isn't he friends with?
I guarantee you he has said, these fucking Jews.
Yeah, probably, but not in public.
Not in private. He's not saying it to himself.
Yeah, but I definitely haven't heard about him saying.
No, I
something
know.
like
Oh, of
that.
course. Oh, yeah. No, he's not doing like some dumb shit like, yeah. But maybe at one point, a couple Jews were doing something. Maybe they were talking too loud at somewhere or being Jewish in front of him. And he might have at one point said, oh, these fucking Jews. He might have even said the K word.
Oof.
I don't want to speak out of turn. Maybe he's a great guy. He might be.
I think it's generally pretty well known that he's not.
No,
He might be like in on
I
his
don't
own
wanna
joke
spread-
and like down.
Yeah, he might be like mean on purpose. Like Harrison.
But like I think he's like I think he's like a little bit of like a tough customer.
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say bad guy, but I'd say I think he's a little bit of a
Yeah,
tough
he thinks
customer.
he's John McClane now.
Yeah.
He thinks he's a tough grizzled
Dude,
cop.
if you
He's an
play
actor.
John McClane.
You're an actor.
Yeah.
You have the same profession that who's a really
Jeremy Irons.
you and Jeremy Irons is pretty badass.
You and
Who's someone who's not necessarily known for being. You and Jonathan Taylor Thomas have the same career. Hey, Bruce Willis, you and Jonathan Taylor Thomas have the same career. Take it down a notch.
Is JTT out yet?
Out of work?
The Closet.
Oh, I don't know.
That was like a thing people were talking about a while ago.
I don't know.
We were talking about Bruce Willis being anti-Semitic, and this popped into my head.
Yeah.
You know who's one of the biggest defenders of Mel Gibson?
Bruce Willis?
No.
Jodie Foster.
RDJ.
Our DJ?
Yeah.
Our house DJ?
Yeah, our house DJ, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, well, that's because Robert Downey has gone through his share of public humiliation, and he seems like, RDJ seems like a good guy. I think RDJ might have time for my nonsense. Not like Jaden Smith, who just wouldn't have time for it. I think RDJ might put up with it.
RDJ...
Maybe.
RDJ, like, him, his persona and
his
stuff, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the artifice by meeting him in real life, because he's like...
recovering drug addict?
He's a recovering drug addict. And he's like a noted libertarian, I think. Like, he's pretty right-wing.
I don't know. What?
Yeah.
He's right-wing?
Yeah.
You don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I've read interviews with him where he talks about...
Republican.
Yeah. I don't think he
RDJ.
votes Republican. I think he's like a libertarian.
I don't even know what that means.
Libertarian means, like, Ron Swanson.
Okay, that's cool. That's a cool guy character.
Still
Did he vote for Obama?
Oh, I don't know.
He voted. You know he voted for Obama. I think I saw him dancing with Obama at some point in his Iron Man costume, and Obama was dressed as the Iron Patriot.
When did the first... no, you're just thinking of Iron Man 3 now.
All right, yeah, okay. Yeah. Wait, is Obama Don Cheadle? You know who could play Don Cheadle in a movie? Obama. Okay, pod racers out there, this is for our creative arts segment. Make a billboard of a movie about Don Cheadle's life, starring President Obama. And I'll say it right now, I don't think this is racist. I think it's just me trying to be a little adorable and funny. Is it racist? It's not racist.
Nah. What you said to prompt this is a little bit racist.
What was it?
That I thought I saw him dance, or actually, it wasn't even racist.
Am I just as bad as the fake Bruce Willis?
That you created?
The Bruce Willis that I've created? Am I just as much of a monster as he is? Maybe I'm worse.
That's for you to tell us, pod racers.
No, pod racers, don't tell me if I'm worse than...
Pod racers, you have my, John's, permission to tell Sam if he's worse than the fictional version of Bruce Willis that we've created tonight.
You know what, pod racers? I just like that freedom of speech. I like y'all getting out there, getting the vote out there. Let's hear your voices. We have zero social media way of reaching us.
We'll set up a Twitter or some nonsense.
We won't.
No, we won't.
Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Well, John, that's the sound of old Missy's cowbell, which means it's time to rein in another episode of Pod Racers.
Oh, man.
Yep, I'm sad about it, too. It was our first one. How did you think it went?
I think it went real deal. It was good.
Real deal?
Yeah.
Real deal Holyfield?
I would say it was real deal Holyfield.
All the way to Holyfield. All right. Well, thank you, Pod Racers, for listening. Check out podrace.org for our Pod Race shirts. Go pod yourself. Get podded. Get chipmunked. Remember those chipmunk ads where it was like, go monk yourself?
Yeah, it was weird.
Let's appeal to kids. Okay, this is going to be next week. Get podded. Go pod yourself. Let's all pod ourselves. Somebody pod me in the ass. 2 pods in my mouth. DP, double penetration. And with that, goodbye. Lights out, Alice. John, say our sign-off.
I'm a Traudarian. Your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me.
That's our sign-off. Goodbye.
Bye.
And now the song. Cue the song. This is the song that ends the show. We had such fun, but we must go. If we meet in another life, perhaps I'll take you as my wife. Lights out, Alice. Good night.